Hi guys, so today I have something to share with you from Diamond Press. Diamond Press did send these items free of charge for my review, and all opinions are my own, and any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you were to purchase items to those links. With Diamond Press, it has to do with the discount code. It is the letters VCDP. When you use that code, you get 10% off your orders, and then I make a small commission for you having used that code. So thank you guys. And thank you, Diamond Press, for offering that. So today I have a few things. This is going to be kind of loaded here at the beginning. At 4 o'clock Pacific time, 7 o'clock Eastern, Diamond Press is going to have a live. You can watch it here on YouTube. You can watch it, I think, on Facebook, or I know they used to always do it on Facebook, but now it's available on YouTube. So I'll be here on YouTube, hopefully in the chat, saying hi to you guys at that time. So again, 4 o'clock, 7 p.m. Eastern, to show the new items that will be on HSN for the craft day on the 13th. Sometimes they release the items early, so if their links are available, they'll have them. I'll have them in my videos or however. But for right now, it's still a little bit early. So those will come out later. So they're going to give you some sneak previews. And that's for HSN. What I have to show you today is for mydiamondpress.com. So the items I'm going to show you right now are mydiamondpress.com. That's where you can find it. Really, I'm going to focus on this set here. It is this beautiful Slimline border die set. They've had it on their site for it's one of the newer items they brought. And it's gorgeous. I mean, look at this. And they're 8.5 inches, so they'll cover a whole, slimline the way I like to make them, 8.5 by 3.5 perfectly. Some of them are about an inch or so deep, or maybe a little bit less. But we'll talk about this in just a minute. I had a couple things I want to do. Okay, so when Diamond Press had their Teal Tuesday. So I got tongue-tied, so let's start over. I had mentioned during Teal Tuesday that some of the items I received for review I had in my personal stash from before. Whenever I always try to pick up whatever I can from Diamond Press and have a huge collection, aside from the items that they send for review. So I told you guys I would do a giveaway of those things. So I want to do a giveaway in this video. My giveaways are super easy. One bummer is I can't respond to the comments, because as you make the comments, that's how they're going to go into basically random.org when I choose a number, the first comment being entry number 1, and then all the way up to the last one being number whatever that number would be. So I won't be able to respond, but on my channel it's super easy. Just like the video, be a subscriber to the channel. Of course, leave a comment saying enter me. A lot of times people want to say something else, but if you want to be considered, you have to say the words enter me in your comment. And I will give away these 2 prizes. What else? What day is today? Let's say we close it on the 12th, and then I'll draw 2 names on the 13th, and there are 2 different prizes I'll give away right now. So if you can rank the order that you like them in, that's fine. Prize number 1 and then prize number 2, or 2 and then 1, however you want to do it. But the first person's name that I choose at random.org selects will get the choice of which one they get first, right? And then the second person will get the second item. So let's say this is prize number 1. It is the Diamond Press Tea Time Stamps and Dies. Super cute set. Like I said, I've had it in my stash, so I opened my own set when I reviewed it, or when I showed it. So this one has your stamps, your dies, your little embossing folder that actually has some inks in there too. And then it'll come along with floral word stamps and dies. So really pretty set. It's tons of dies with the words, smile, all kinds of cute things, the little flowers, and we can play with that in lots of different ways. So it is open because I had shown it to you guys leading up to Teal Tuesday. And then this is another set, and this is the Tropical Stamps and Dies. So if you didn't get your hands on it, you got one more chance here, because I know these both sold out. We have the inks, and then of course the dies, the tropical set, the stamp sets, and the embossing folders and all that. And this one will come with the Let's Party word dies, and it's just lots of words that have to do with like party, RSVP, you're invited, all kinds of words like that. Really sweet set. So prize number 1, prize number 2, say enter me, and you can say I would like 1 then 2, or 2 then 1, or however you want to do that. And so let me put that to the side. So thank you so much, Diamond Press, for sending those, and hopefully, good luck. So looking at these dies, there's tons in here. There's this beautiful, it reminds me of like lattice work kind of. Just so pretty. And then this one's like a big lace, and I should have taken it out of the packaging, sorry. We have a little swag, super sweet, and this little piece of lace that's just very much like a border. This one here, it's very dainty with the little dots, and then it also has that little curve there. The little hearts, this diamond pattern, and then this really sweet daisy. It reminds me like daisy stitch, like embroidery pattern. And also the reason I'm showing these right now is because Diamond Press has these on a special price. So you definitely want to check that out if you're interested. What I'm going to do is grab some paper. I think I'm going to get a little inky with this one. And we'll go from there. So I'll definitely use these in a minute. And it comes with the long cutting folder, of course, for the marquee. But if you don't have a marquee, you can just hold on to it. I do want to mention a couple of items that they have on the site now that people had asked about whenever the markers first came out, the Diamond Press markers. They have blending markers individually, like this, sold individually. For me, a blender pen, and I learned this a long time ago when I used to take Copic classes, it's not really to blend colors, but some people say that. I don't know. I've never seen that actually work. What it really is to erase. All it is the ink, the alcohol ink without color, without ink, you know? So we have the brush tip, and then we have the fine tip. And basically, if you make a little boo-boo, I don't have anything here that's alcohol ink. Let me see. Maybe I'll grab one in just a minute just to show you what I mean. But basically, it helps you erase mistakes. And that's all I've ever used it for. You can lift color up and you can make pattern that way because it basically takes the color away. I just never seen that you actually roll it over colors and that it actually blends, but you know, I don't know. maybe that's how it works nowadays. I don't know. But I just want to talk about that for a second. So I will grab some alcohol ink just so I can show you real quickly. And then the tape runners. So they do have a tape runner there on Diamond Press's site. And what I want to mention is it does come with a refill. But when you get it and, you know, you're looking at it and the words are up here, and for me, intuitively, I feel like that should be facing down when you use it. The words are facing you, you use it this way. If you do that, it is going to disconnect from this and you're gonna have to redo it, kind of play with it a little bit. So, don't do that. So, here are the words. There's like a little grippy area here. You're gonna need to turn the words away from you and use it this way. And then it'll be fine. And you can just kind of look at it and that would be intuitive. You see how it's kind of open right here? So obviously when you're pushing, this keeps it from falling out. But if you pull it this way with the words facing you, you're going to push that roller out and then you're going to have to try to get it back in and, you know, which is fine. It just pops back in. But just so you know, so if you think, okay, this is odd. And then when you put the refill back in, you know, just pay attention to the direction. Basically it has like this little, like if you're using a screwdriver, like a little divot in there. So just know that that little divot needs to be facing out towards you. You can't put it in the other way because it just won't let you. Just that bump kind of is meant to go into this little hole area, right? And to replace it, it's just that easy. You just open it up. So I don't really want to do that because what if but there we go. We're just going to open it. Take this one out, put the new one in again with that little like screwdriver looking area facing you. Okay? So just wanted to give you that tip and then close it back up. And I am going to grab some papers and things. I'll show you about the alcohol ink just so I can show you a little more about that blender pen, but I will be right back. Okay, so I just grabbed some of the alcohol ink markers just to show you really quickly what I'm talking about. So let's use pink medium and pink light. I don't know, I'm just picking some colors. And I'm just going to put down some colors. So this is pink light. And you should put down so much that it goes through to the back. And yes, this is a little scrap piece of paper. And this is pink medium, okay? So this one color jumps to the next color in kind of a different way. And as I go over it, that light color will bleach out the next color. And that's kind of how you get the blending going with all alcohol ink markers. So what I want to show you is with this guy. Let's say you're like, well, I want this to blend nicer. If I come in here and start blending and pretend that that's going to actually blend, it's really what it's doing is taking the color away, kind of making a different color, and not really blending. I'm going to start from the beginning and go back to the top. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see already, it's just disappearing, right? And what it does, and this is what's interesting, is it pushes it to the back of the paper. That's why I put this down. So on the back now, it's super bright when before the color was on top. So let's say you're coloring something and you colored outside the line. Let's just pretend. Let me get this Nope, this is a purple marker. Hold on. I'll use this. Actually, that wasn't a purple marker. It just... So let's just pretend that's a line. This is archival ink, so it shouldn't go away when I do this. But let's say you're coloring and oopsie, I got it outside the line, right? So that's when you want to bring out your blender. And I would use maybe the firmer side. Unless it's, I mean, it's a big area and you want to clean up. And basically you can either just go over it like this, or what you do is just sit there, because it's usually not that big a deal, right? That much that you go outside the line. But just hold it down. And I don't know, I'll try to show you in a minute. If you can see that the color is going away, but the color goes to the back of the paper. It pushes through your paper to the back. And that's how I've ever known blender pens to work. And some people say, oh, I need to blend better. I've never seen a blender pen used as an actual tool to help you blend. But, you know, like I said, what do I know? So there's that. And then you just keep it. Obviously, that's a big boo-boo. But if it's just a little bit outside the line, it helps you disappear. It's an eraser. And then like this one, let's say you just want to do a little design. So you can kind of put your little dots. And now you have like a little texture drawn in. And which is a fun way to play with it. So there's different things you can do with it, but really think of it as an eraser. I mean, you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, let's get to the dyes. Okay guys, I've been getting a little freeform Friday here, even though this is just, you know, a different type of video, but I pulled out some different blues, and apparently I've never opened this one, sorry. Faded Jeans. I have Salty Ocean and Tumbled Glass Distress Inks, and then a little peeled paint just for a little something. I don't know why. In my mind, when I saw this, the first thing I thought was something like nautical, like underwater, even though it's a design. It's not anything that has to do with that, but I think it's going to look really cute. So I have a piece of paper here, and I can cut this down later, but I already cut it down to 8 1/4 by 3 1/4. And all I'm going to do is just model this and add a little water and all that kind of fun stuff. So I'm going to start with the lightest color first, and just adding color here and there. And you'll see it has no rhyme or reason, because I want to get a little artsy. I don't really have a design in mind. I just want to make a background. You know, maybe I'll add a little bit of the peeled paint now, just so I know where I'm putting it. And the darkest blue. Oopsie. You definitely don't want to do that, but once you add more and more ink, it just gets saturated, and I probably should have used more of a mixed media paper. Something like that. Let's go back to the lightest one. Now I'm kind of paying attention to the edges and trying to get a little darker on the edges. Okay, I am going to clean up. I'll be right back. I'm just going to close up all my inks and all that, and I'll be right back. So I'm just going to add a little water. This spray is very fine, so I usually just take my water and flick it instead. And the longer you let it sit, the more of the color it leaches out of your paper. Yeah, no, I remember when the pens first came out and people were really like, oh, there's, you know, I need a blender, there's no blender, and because they were talking about it, and I was like, well, to be honest, I hardly ever use my blender for the actual coloring, but I think maybe people are getting mixed up with like Gamsol, like that kind of stuff, because that does help you blend like color pencils, where it melts it down and helps you blend, but it's not the same with alcohol ink marker, really. Again, it's an eraser, which is a great tool to have, but I just don't want people to expect like, oh, this is going to help me blend this, because it really isn't meant for that purpose. Okay, I'm going to let this dry. I think that's good. Clean it up a little bit, clean up in here, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so a few things to go along with the card. We're still working on the base. I just got out this blue piece of cardstock. It's 8 1/2 by 7. On the 7-inch side, I'm scoring it at 3 1/2 to make a card base. Oh, there's something on there. Alright, just going to fold it over, and I try to butt it up against the edge of my scoreboard just to try to keep it even. Even if you score a lot of times, it'll still be a little bit wonky. And then we're going to put this on here. Looks pretty already. And then on the scrap piece of paper, as you can see, I stamped some little seahorses from the tunnel card set, the Keep Swimming tunnel card set. Mermaids, whatever, you know. Actually, I was going to put butterflies. I think that even looks pretty because it just looks like a background. It could be anything, but I was kind of going towards water. So for this, I'm going to do this, and then we're going to cut our pieces that we're going to pop in here. So I'm just going to color these guys in. I have not spent a lot of time looking at seahorses that I don't really know what colors they are. So I'm just going to pick some, what do we think? Yellows? Oh my gosh, I should know. I love them, but we used to always go check them out over there in Monterey when we lived there. We used to always visit Monterey because it wasn't far from the Central Valley where I'm from. But then my husband got to go to the NPS, Navy Postgraduate School, and that was pretty much the first time I ever really moved because I would always kind of stay where we were and he would move around and we just make it work. And I was like, oh, I'm moving to Monterey. And so we would go to the aquarium literally several times a week with the kids because they loved having out there, and Dorian was still little, so it was nice to go out there. Something like that. Maybe a little bit kind of coming in here. I was trying to keep it light there. Okay, and then I'll color the daddy one like an orange color. And then I stamped the sentiment, so I'm going to cut that out like this with this guy. But I will be back, and then I'll cut out my little pieces too. As I'm working with this, I just want to show you real quick what I always do, and it's, you know, sometimes you might be new to the channel, maybe you've never seen it before. I just make a little aperture just so I know exactly where I'm cutting this guy. So just run it through some scrap paper. Make sure you have like a little piece of tape or something to make like a hinge, basically. You hinge it open, you see through it, you're going to see exactly where you're going to cut. And if you're happy with that, flap it back down. And I usually put a little tape just to make sure it doesn't move. And then you run it through again, so that's kind of how I got this perfectly cut. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, we have that little guy. And so now I'm just going to cut some of that design, the border die, out of black paper. I don't know, I just thought it'd be fun. Look at that. Perfect. Okay, we got that. Put this away. Back in its package here. Card base ready. So, I'm not going to run it up the whole entire length of the card, because I want to make it look a little more artsy, a little different, so I'll do that differently. I'm going to use one of my well-loved cutting folders, but you always have a new one there you can use. This guy. And I guess I could just run a whole piece and then just cut it where I want, but I'm just going to run several through like this. So since my paper, or my... I'll run them like this, probably 2 or 3, so I'm just going to cut this piece off. And I'll just run this through a few times, move it over, get a couple strips, and I'll be back. Okay. So this is interesting. You guys know, usually I'm very literal. Like, I'm not really the type of person that makes something look like something it's not. I just like the design look of this. So how did I pop this one out? I was banging it on here until it came out, but that's not a nice thing to do on camera. So let's just poke that out. All right. Clean that out. So I have these 3 strips. I just cut 3. I like things in groups of 3s, 5s, 1. Odd numbers, but 3s are always nice. So if I'm looking at this, I have my card. I have these pretty pieces. I'm just going to cut it off wherever. That's why I haven't glued this down yet. Ooh, you can even cut it off the side if you want to be super artsy with it. Let's pretend that one's there. That's good, I like that. Okay, something like that. Something like what I'm doing right now. And then we'll cut off that excess. So to glue these down, because they are a little bit detailed, I'm just going to put glue. I kind of try to lay it down too so you don't have puddles of glue on your hand, but so I can go like this. And I wanted this one higher. You know what, I'm going to put this one right at the end. Something like that. And I'm just going to have fun with it. It doesn't have to be perfect the way I spaced it out. Maybe this one here. I haven't really squished that one down yet. And let's just say that one's like there. Okay. Like that. Okay. And where's my scissor? I'm gonna wash my hand. Usually I let the glue dry and then I just peel it off the back of my hand, and it's kind of like exfoliates your hand here, but I'm gonna go wash that off because it's still quite a bit. And I'll be right back. So I'm just gonna glue this down. Again, it got a little wonky. And this was definitely a scrap piece of paper that had tested something else on there. Alright. And I know if you are signed up for the Diamond Press newsletter, you can do that at mydiamondpress.com. If you click the links and go over to mydiamondpress.com, you can sign up for their newsletter, and you would have seen that there's something fun coming in by the way of new markers. And so I will show you those also. Not quite yet. Nice big mega kit. Alright, let's see here. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this, and then I'm going to put my little guys, yeah, maybe in here. I'm just going to stick them down straight or flat. You can put dimensionals wherever you like, but aw, so sweet. I'll put dimensionals on the back of this and we'll finish up our card. So just showing the back of this because you guys know I like to use up everything on a dimensional carrier like this. This is actually from Diamond Press, one of the kits. And I just cut into it. Use the whole thing. And I'm just going to place this here, I think. I love to put things, my cards down kind of crooked, and then I'm looking at them like, oh wait, hold on. Let's pick that one. I'm looking at these grid lines. A little bit more up on this one. There it is. Alright guys, so thanks for watching. Again, they have this on mydiamondpress.com at a special price if you want to pick it up. I mean, there's tons on here, so there are 8 different dies. I used the one. This is so sweet, the little hearts. Again, it can go across the whole thing or just use it how I did here. A mini card, a 5x7, a regular, A2 size. You can cut it down, use it however you like. But thanks for watching, guys. Thank you so much, Diamond Press, for sending these items for review. Good luck. Don't forget, there's a giveaway also in this video, so make sure to say enter me, and then if you'd like 1 or 2 first, or whatever order you want those in. But I'll have rules written at the end of the video here. So, alright guys, I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.